Welcome back to the sneak peek behind a luxury custom home build series where we share with you the process of designing and building a luxury custom home. In this episode, Janey, Eric's wife, walks us through the rest of the Wilshire residence and shares her perspective of the design-build process. Many custom home projects are the same in that there's often some element of conflict between the husband and wife, and this project was no different. In this episode, watch and listen as Janey gets real and honest about the elements of the home that she does and does not particularly like. We'll finish off this episode with an interview with Janey where she shares with us how she feels about the design of the house after having lived in the home for a few years now. If you missed episode 2, click here to catch up. Without further ado, introducing the Wilshire residence.
One thing I'm happy with is the chandelier right here that I changed the position of it. Because when I first walked in, how the light was positioned, it wasn't, when I walked in, it's like it looks really empty. The lights were not how it is right now. How it was lined up.
Nice and thick, like nice and dense.
Yeah, there's like really big hollow space right here. These two lights were somewhere else. So like when you come in, like it seemed like there's no lights there.
Oh, okay.
So I changed like the position.
Oh,
it changed 3 times.
Oh, you changed it 3 times?
Yeah,
awesome.
to make sure. When I walked in, I see like, make sure each line has a light. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, that's one of those changers Pat was telling us about, I guess.
Uh-huh. Yep, so.
And then what about the lighting and the frosting in the master bathroom? Did you?
The lighting in there? Oh yeah, I kind of regret that I changed the master ensuite, the window, to the frosted.
You regret it because there's nothing out there, or why?
Yeah, like it makes the room look smaller. Before it was like this, clear glass windows, right? Mm-hmm. But I thought it was like, wow, there's no private, like, you had to put blinds or like you had to make things to cover it.
But I thought it was the kind of glass where they can't see in, even though you can see out.
No, it was exactly like that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can actually see out and then people can see back in. But because how the back window, basically there's no neighbors and it's just trees. So I would prefer, it would be nice to look out and then see the trees. But
well, I guess those are some of the things you learn when you get to make design choices, is what
I guess so.
What you think you want versus what you actually want. And sometimes that's why it's good to rely on a designer to make those choices for you.
Maybe have my kid throw a rock brick in or change it.
Nice.
I'm an excuse. Look, the window's broken. I can change it.
Oops, the window got broken. When the designer's wife is also a vandal. Great. Is there anything else you want to show us? Anything else that you want to change or that you got changed?
Actually, I actually wanted the style of the home, like the exterior and the interior. Mm-hmm. I wanted more of the kind of like the English looking.
Okay, so the French style.
That French style, like instead of the modern, because we've been living in like kind of like a modernist house before, like kind of like I want a different style this time around.
Okay.
Like more of the kind of
traditional?
like the traditional, more of the rustic, a little bit.
So the French farmhouse idea was kind of okay with you, or?
What kind of style was that? I'm trying to say is the English style.
The English countryside.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is definitely more French countryside style, but maybe your next house. Maybe
I
second
thought this house
Victor
is
show
really
home.
good. It reflects the stuff that I want.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Great. Wonderful. So Janey, show me some of the special parts of the house that are just unique to your family.
Oh, my daughter's room. So 2 daughters. So one of the girl really liked, the youngest one really liked pink. So actually Eric let her choose the color. So we gave her the pink fan and then she chose the pink color. So she chose 2. So one is a lighter pink and one is a darker pink as a feature wall.
Wow.
Yeah, and the light and the chandelier, she
Pink
chose that
chandelier.
too. Yeah, pink chandelier.
Awesome.
Yeah, so she wanted to have like her room has a bunk bed type of style, But instead of buying a bed, a furniture piece with a bunk bed on top, Eric actually designed this. Where we're standing right now.
Wow.
This will be her future bunk bed, and where there will be a furniture piece right here with like ladder stepping up.
Oh, amazing.
And then she can play up there with her like friends and have friends sleep over, and they're gonna like hide up there.
I love it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun room for her.
How old is she now?
She is 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is like a 7-year-old's
Yeah.
dream.
It is. So is I can't wait to see the furniture piece that's going in, and with the ladder going up, and she will be so happy, like playing in here with her friends.
And she'll never forget the pride she felt as being part of the design process in her whole life.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Amazing.
she get to choose her color, her chandelier, and she get a say in the home more than me.
Oh, let's find out in what ways Janey did not get a say in the home.
So the other room is more plain because this is my older daughter's room. She liked the black and white theme, just like matches everything else in the house. So she chose a black chandelier.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
And most of her furniture gonna be black and white to reflect
The home?
the home. Yeah. So she chose that, and and she has a say in this home too.
And she has a say, she has her own say in the home, and this is her ensuite?
Actually, both were gonna share this bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
I really like the honeycomb tile right there.
That is really fun. So you've got quite a lot of experience in this. So did you get a fair say so in this house?
Not much. I leave it up to him because designing for a client is very different designing for himself. So this is where he can expand his imagination and do whatever he wants. And this is where I give him the room to do it.
Oh, that's so nice
Yeah.
of you. Because
But,
you have to live here.
Exactly. That's why I don't have much say in it. Everything I say no, this is how we're going to do it.
Oh, no. Okay, show me some of the things about the house that you like the least.
The least, okay. So the part that I like the least is probably the hardwood floor color. In the beginning, I was saying let's get some lighter color because I find it's easier to manage.
Yeah, dark shows a lot of
Dust.
and stuff. He takes a lot of sweeping.
Yep. So that's why I say where I don't know. I guess he just wants everything to match the house, and
So
he
is
thinks darker color will look better.
this dark color?
Yeah. Right now there's dust on it, so that's why it looks a bit lighter.
I see.
But when all those wood dusts are gone, it's actually quite dark.
Okay.
So I guess if you rip up one of the ram board and without any dust on it,
You'll see how dark it is.
Yeah.
I see. And what about this entryway tile? Are you happy with that?
I am happy with the center. Right now it's covered. I don't know if you can lift it up and take a look. This part.
Ooh.
I really like.
Beautiful.
I know. I really like this part. Is feature.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, the accent, the shape of it. But I didn't like the border.
Oh, the border.
Yeah.
I see.
Although it's very expensive, but.
Oh, compromise. The key to a successful marriage.
Yeah.
And it's
But you know what? I didn't know until it was put in.
nobody told you. Nobody showed you the border. Typical males.
I know. I didn't know until it was drawn and then on site, and I saw it. I was like,
Oh no. What about the kitchen? Is that exactly what you want?
yeah, the kitchen is really nice until I saw the profile of the panel on another site.
Oh, does it stick out really far or why? What don't you like about it?
I don't know. I just didn't like it.
Is it too square or too plain?
I guess I didn't like the fact that it didn't match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So it's all kind of
because
mismatched.
one of the top drawer is with a round bevel,
Uh-huh.
and then the cabinet panel is actually there's a square the square profile.
Okay.
Yeah, you see how it's the profile is like that
Yep.
with a
The
square edge.
rectangle and the
Yeah,
square,
but then with the drawer,
uh-huh.
it's had a round bevel on it. It's not square,
Oh.
so it doesn't match.
I see.
Maybe I'm not used to it yet, but I don't know.
It's a little too modern in your traditional home.
I don't know.
Well, maybe he will compromise and he'll.
Oh, it's too late to change now. Everything's done.
Is it? Well, once it's totally finished, we'll take another look and see what you think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Now let's see what Janey thinks about the home after living in the house for a few years.
The most favorite feature of the home, I would say, is the stairwell lights. There are 9 of them that are hanging down at different heights and different levels. So you get to see all 3 levels. The lights go down from the 3rd level all the way down to the basement. So I find that very unique. And for me, it's very practical as well because I can change the light bulbs on any level. And it's so easy to change it out and easy to clean. Not like those chandeliers where you hang all the way up in the ceiling and it's impossible to change the light bulb and impossible to clean. So that is one of the features I like. After we purchased the property, I was really excited to wait for what Eric can design. And my first initial thought was that I want a home to have the French country style, like modern French country style. And that's all I told him. So, and then Eric went to, research and like what French modern style looks like. And he came up with this design. So I was pretty happy with it. Yeah. So after living in the house for a few years, my overall thought of the house and the design was I feel really comfortable. And then for the first time, for some reason, when I walk into the house the first time, I really feel like I can call this house a home. So it feels like a home to me versus a house. I don't know how to explain to you, but it feels so comfortable just walking in it. The overall flow of the house is very, like the space is very nicely designed, very nicely laid out, and I really like the flow of it. I love being in the kitchen because of the openness of the kitchen and the folding doors at the back. It just so has a lot of light into the house, and it feels very bright all the time and very happy when I'm staying in the house for some reason because maybe it's so bright all the time, especially at the living room and the kitchen area. And especially the backyard. I love sitting in the backyard because it's so private because there's no lane at the backyard. My initial thought is that, oh, there's no back lane. It might not be good, but after living in it for a few years, I find that not having a back lane is actually a very, very good thing. It's actually so private, and I can sit at the backyard and looking at the tree lines, and it just feels like so secluded. It's just amazing. Yeah. So the experience of designing the home alongside with my husband, who is also the designer, is there's pros and cons. I guess the pro is that I can be very laid back and I can trust him to do very good design. He chooses all the materials and he does all the spacing. After he's done, then he showed me the plan. So basically, I don't have to think about anything, which is good. Which is what I want, because I'm not a designer. I want him to come up with like everything, right? The only input I pretty much have is like, I want this style, because I never lived in this style home before. So I want this like kind of high class French country style, but modern. So yeah, so he kind of like actualized the design. But the con is that sometimes I say, oh no, I don't like this, I don't want this. I say, no, this should be the way it is, that's the look of it, so sometimes I want to change something, like he kind of say no to it. So that's kind of the frustrating part of it. I remember I said I wanted a bigger closet. I say, oh no, there's no space. I say, okay, make space, right? But then he say, oh, you have to sacrifice this and you have to sacrifice the design. I say, okay. And then at the end I say, okay, whatever, you do whatever you want, you're the designer. So not much say in that, but there's a lot of pros. Yes, I did say that I didn't like the hardwood floor because it was too dark the first time I walked into the house. So after living in it for a few years, I find that the hardwood floor color is actually matches everything else in the house. Because if I were to choose the lighter color, I don't think it would look as good because all the walls in the house and all the marbles are white. So with the contrast of the darker color hardwood floor actually brings out the uniqueness of both. So right now, if you ask me, I wouldn't change the hardwood floor color. I would stay the way it is. So good choice, Eric. Yeah, so the first time walking into the house, noticing that the drawers and the cabinet doors, like the style was a bit different, I was like, oh my god, why is it different? Because I'm so not used to seeing the mismatch. So after living in it for a few years, I just, I find that I overlooked it and I feel comfortable looking at it and it doesn't bother me anymore. And actually it's very unique that way, that is it's the mismatch, so it's not boring, looking at it now. It's actually find unique now. At first I didn't find the unique appealing, so now I find the uniqueness is very, very unique. So I guess I got used to it, and it's actually the profile of the drawers and the cabinet is very different. I like it overall. Yes, at first I felt the entry border tile is a bit too ornate, a bit like it's not more modern, like, because I wanted the modern French style looking, but looking at the border, it kind of like, to me it felt out of line at the first sight. But after looking at it for for a few years now, it kind of grew on me, and actually the borders is very unique, and it's actually very classy. Yeah, I find it very classy, and I got so many compliments from friends and family that how beautiful the entry tile is. So I guess the compliment speaks it all. So I guess my worry was at first was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, so now it doesn't bother me anymore now that I walk into the entry, but in the first few days, yes, it did. So my advice for couples that are designing their homes would be, I guess, just to make a list of your wants and your don't wants, like, in my opinion, individually, and then sit down together and go through the list, and go through, understand each other's wants and don'ts, because that will it will help the designer to figure out what is exactly that you guys want for the house, and then the designer can help you actualize what exactly that you guys want. For my case, it's very different. My case, because Eric is a designer and he also my husband, and I don't need to say too much of what I want, and he kind of understands like what he wants for the house, because he himself is the owner of the house too, and he knows what he wants for the house. So we kind of like lots of communication, and we talk about it as well, some of the material we use and things like that. So for a couple that going through this process, it's very important that you guys like communicate, especially a woman. I think the more important is the kitchen and also the walk-in closet and things like that. Yeah, better tell the designer what you guys want and indicate that the importance of it, so then there's no argument at the end. So yeah, my advice is lots of communications to the designer and between the couples too.
In our next episode, you'll get to meet the members and part of the Design+Build team at VictorEric and hear about their role in the integrated design-build process.